All right, what's going on, everybody? Sorry if you hear noise coming from outside. People are doing yard work, so I've got a little bit of yard work noise happening. Okay, recap on block number 4. So if you remember from the previous video, block 3 was kind of it was kind of a waste. It was the results that I had at the end of block 2 were pretty much the same results that I had at the end of block 4 because block 3 was a little messed up. So here are the numbers, and you can see I've added in the 4/11 date, which is the end of my weight at the end of block 3 refeeding time, which was 221.6, and then I started the block 4 at 412, and then the weight on 412 was 223.6. So that gain of after the refeed, it's always a gain after the refeed. So I gained 2 pounds after the refeed, and then the rest of the week was down. So the 13th, the 14th, and the 15th, I had decreased my weight by almost over a pound a day. So I'm back. Like I said, I'm back to where I was at the end of block 2. And starting block 5. So what's going to be different about block 5? Block 5 is I've added in exercising. So I've already done today is the first day of block 5. So I've added in half an hour of an exercising routine, and I'm probably going to try to extend that more as time goes on. And then also I am going to consciously make the effort to get to that 10,000 steps a day. So the Fitbit numbers. So if we look at where I was with the Fitbit last week, the 12th was really good. It was like 14,000 steps, about 6 miles. I believe we were on campus that day, checking out a college. The 13th and the 14th were just kind of like normal days, 4 miles on the 13th and 3.5 miles on the 14th. And then on the 15th, 10,000 steps, 4.7 miles. I don't know really how that works out. I had 14,000 steps on the 12th, but only did, well, okay, I did 6 miles. So I don't know. At any rate, I guess I was pacing back and forth more. I have no idea. Other thing that I added in was I got a Renfro nutrition scale. So here's all the food that I ate on the refeed day. It's actually a really cool scale. I got it on sale for like $14 on Amazon, and the link is in the description below. I don't know if it's still on sale. I think it was like a flash sale or something, but it was worth getting for $14. And it's kind of neat because it ties into that whole Renfro ecosphere. So I have the scale. It's kind of interesting. I bought the scale first a long time ago, years ago. And then inadvertently last year, my wife wanted she didn't want it, but I got it for her anyways, like an eye massager, eye mask thing. And I didn't realize that was also Renfro. So, a couple months ago, she was like, that was Renfro as well. So then I wound up getting the tape measure, and I wound up getting the nutrition scale. I'm not big on like supporting one brand, but it's nice that all those health items like tie into one app. So it's really nice to be able to keep track of all that stuff. So anyways, not trying to sell it to you. That's what I'm currently using. But here's the interesting thing. So I did a weigh-in on the 15th yesterday and was at 218.6. And then that was in the morning. And then check this out. Here is my weight after the refeed. 221.8. So I gained 3 pounds, but took in roughly about 4 pounds worth of food. Total number of grams was 1,893, and if I convert that over to pounds, that's 4.1 pounds. A lot of that, well, I won't say a lot of it, but there was a good portion of that was just liquid, like the bone broth. So the bone broth was 907 grams, and that was just liquid. So if I subtract out the 907 grams, that leaves me with 986 grams. And that comes out to, checking the browser here, that comes out to 2.1 pounds. So I gained 3 pounds, took in 2.1 pounds of solid food. course, I probably had some liquid in my system still. So, okay. So I can equate that. I was, getting concerned about the weight gain after, or yeah, right after the refeed, and trying to figure out where that number was coming from. So I've quantified that, right? Now that I know how many grams I'm taking in, I know how much is in my stomach that is yet to be processed. It's not going out of my system quite yet. And so, okay, makes more sense to me. At least we've quantified all that. I know exactly where it is and what's happening, right? What's happening with those numbers. So that's it. I mean, I've started an exercise routine. I'm going to get 10,000 steps in, new goals. I'm tracking what I'm eating on the refeed so that I know that I'm not going crazy on the refeed, and then continuing on the process. So I'm very curious to see where I wind up at the end of block 5. I want to thank everybody who has tuned in. I've had some people comments in the comment section. It absolutely warms my heart. I never really expected anybody to be watching this, but I'm glad that you're watching my journey and that you're maybe learning something through my journey. Look, I'm no doctor. Go do your own research. Go talk to your physician. Go do all of that stuff. I mean, for me, this just seemed right. I wanted to make a change. I wanted to get some results quickly, and then we're going to have to figure out long run, right? We're going to have to figure out long term. And I'm going to stay on top of these numbers so that I can, I'm not regaining stupid amounts of weight, and trying to get my body back in shape enough so that I feel okay exercising. I feel okay going out and doing stuff. Shoot, in my early 20s, our late teens, early 20s, I was a long distance runner. I ran track and field in high school. I ran the San Francisco Marathon. I have completely let my body go. Been very sports active. Still enjoy going out and doing a bunch of hiking and walking and all that stuff, but just feeling exhausted after. I would change that. All that's going to change. All that's going to change because I need it to change. I need to change for my long-term health. And so that's what I'm doing. At any rate, I appreciate you being here. Thank you guys so much. Talk to you later. Bye.